Here.
Halloran,
Here.
Lewis,
Here, sorry.
Moranti,
Here.
Nizan,
Nope, I don't see him yet.
Rosenthal,
Here.
Starr,
Here.
Trombley,
Here.
Walker,
Here.
Wolf,
Here.
President DiPietro.
Here.
Present.
Shirsa Mizan is here.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Shrisha.
Thank you.
Thank
Hello,
you.
everybody.
Yeah. Okay, we got a full house. Excuse me. Can I have an introduction, please, to dispense with the reading of the minutes of April 5th, and 20th meetings and place them on file? An introduction, please.
Dewan.
Dewan, a second, please.
I'll introduce Walker.
Malachi. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Okay, committee reports are on your virtual desks. Can I have a motion, introduction, please, to commit to place committee reports on file? An introduction?
Dewan.
Open, I'll introduce,
Okay, well, we'll make it Dewan and Calvin seconding.
sounds good.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Okay, communications. The dog report for April 2021. Shahim, you want to post that so we can all see it? Let's see what we got. Sorry. I don't know if you got to the fourth sentence. I also received 2 calls reporting a dead woodchuck on State Street. The callers were advised that I am strictly the dog control officer. Okay. Okay, that's one of the communications. Thank you, Shaheen. The other is you've all received from Sam Merritt, and we'll get back to that in our discussion later on. Can I have a introduction and a second to receive the communications and put them on file?
Open,
Dewan.
I'll introduce.
Oh, looks like Dewan and Calvin
second.
back again. Or maybe we should switch for variety.
No problem.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? The motion carries. Okay, the bills. Shaheen, could you post the list of bills, please? The only things I wondered about were Amano McCann, which is to fix all the kiosks down at the train station. It's part of a contract that we approved in 2020, and they finally completed the work, so we're just paying them. And revise I hadn't seen before, but that's to work on our website. Any other questions?
What is the Passport Labs, 6,000?
Tracy, I forgot.
That is formerly known as Complus. That is
Oh.
our monthly bill for parking ticket collection.
Collection. That's
Oh, okay.
right. Comes in every month. Okay, do I have an introduction to accept the bills and pay the bills?
Calvin, I'll introduce.
Calvin, a second, please.
Duan.
Thank you, Dewan. A roll call vote, please, Tracy.
Alderman Garriga,
Aye.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan,
Aye.
Rosenthal,
Aye.
Sauer,
Aye.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, you can take down the screen for a while, Jaheim, because we now have a presentation that our Mayor Kamal Johnson would like to share with you after he has a sip of water.
It's always good to stay hydrated. Good evening, everybody. I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about some of the work that we've been doing as a second part of, our long look at policing and relationships in our community. This stemmed from the original work that came from the police reform package. 2 committees were created from that initial resolution. And the first being PARC, which many of you know of, which is the Police Advisory Reconciliation Committee. The second is the Transitions to Treatment Task Force, which is in direct partnership with the Greenberger Center. This task force met over the course of the year, last year and all of this year, and was attended by many mental health professionals, as well as reentry services, Greener Pathways, elected officials, judges, and many of our community organizations that are working on the ground with our most vulnerable populations. Some of the major service and infrastructure gaps that were identified with the committee looking at substance use and as well as serious mental illness was the need for supportive and homeless housing. A lot of this is evident if you look at 7th Street Park at nighttime, as well as including permanent supportive housing for those living with mental illness, temporary supportive housing, including a homeless shelter for the homeless population. Research has shown us, as well as lived experience from all of us as elected officials and working in community organizations, that the hotel system just isn't working. It's an expensive system. It lacks the wraparound services, and it's too far from city resources. Substance use is no longer a problem that we can ignore in our city or in our county. We can no longer say it's not happening here. It's not only in our backyard, but it's in our front yard. This year in Hudson, we've already seen 6 overdoses and 3 deaths compared to only 2 last year. I read in our local paper, the mayor of Philmont state that 1 overdose is entirely too many. And our entire county should be thinking the same, that 1 overdose is too many. Our county is often leading in the race of deaths around New York State. We've already seen over 35 suspected overdoses in our county this year alone. The need for short-term crisis stabilization beds and crisis step-down service is evident in every situation where someone falls through the cracks of all of our great services offered in our county. Mental health counseling services for students, as well as after graduation transitional services for students. Graduating from high school with serious forms of mental illness are also gaps that we deem a high priority to fill. The old ways aren't working anymore. And if the pandemic showed us anything, it's that out of the box thinking and handling old age issues is the new way of the future. We have to invest and create criminal court diversion options. We have to bolster our reentry services for people released from incarceration and those who are on probation or otherwise diverted from criminal justice pretrial. Now, where do we go from here? Many of you who have been a part of this work kind of know the major issues that we're facing in our county. We are proposing the creation of a wellness hub on a donated land in Greenport to enable co-located services for the target population. This hub will include the relocation of the proposed People USA 20-bed detox center, development of short-term and step-down crisis services, either associated with the Wellness Hub or Columbia Memorial Hospital. We are looking to include the development of a 30 to 40 bed homeless shelter and elimination of hotels for emergency housing. We need to restore the supportive counseling services that back to pre-pandemic levels in schools, jails, and county mental health clinics, as well as actively recruiting a diverse staff of professionals. Other recommendations include the creation of a county mental health court to hear felony cases and a hub court to allow the transfer of misdemeanor cases. We have to begin to decriminalize substance use disorders and serious mental health disorders. These issues are serious, and we can only tackle them together. Today, we don't have all the answers, but this is, a step in the right direction. For me as an elected official, I think, and what other constituents should look for in their elected officials is, someone who's not just going to create policy and legislation, but someone who's going to look for ways to change people's lives and better the lives of people in our community as a whole. So thank you for listening tonight. I'm going to turn it over if there's anything I've missed to our partners on the Greenberger Center, Cheryl Roberts.
Thank you, Mayor, and hi to everyone on the Common Council. I'm wearing two hats, as some of you know. I'm the director of the Greenberger Center and also the city's Corporation Council. And it's been an honor to work with the mayor on behalf of the Greenberger Center and all the people on the task force. I want to thank them, all the people who worked with me for the last 10 months. And just want to point out one thing. I read already something in the paper. The caption was something like mental health, failings. And I want to be really clear. The professionals that I worked with from the county and who are nonprofit providers are doing an extraordinary job dealing with what they have to deal with. And there are certainly gaps, but my experience is when there are gaps in service, it's because there's gaps in funding. And the ironic thing here is that there is funding out there. It's just used in the wrong way because regulations, mostly state and federal, put so many limitations on how you can use the money that it's difficult for these providers to get the funding that they need to do the job they know needs to be done. And so we're looking forward to working with, as we go forward, these providers to try and shift some of this funding and the regulations around them. And the good news is the governor in his State of the State talked about some innovative reforms like money for crisis stabilization centers and also merging some of the functions of the Office of Mental Health and the Office of Substance Use Services, which really would help us become what I hope to be a model for other upstate suburban and rural communities. We have all the ingredients here. We have some really terrific people on the county level. We have a mayor who is willing to be innovative and push the envelope. And then we have this donation of land that will be going to the Greenberger Center. And we are very excited and anxious to put that land, it's about 5 acres or so, to use for the county and the people of Columbia County. So I'm looking forward to next steps, and I'm hoping that the county partners with us, because that's really, I think, where we need to go. We need to partner with the county and the city to move this to the next level.
And hold on, Tom, before you, I apologize for cutting in. But yeah, I know we do have some local paper on this meeting right now, and I'm gonna request, if possible, if they can change that headline, because it is extremely disrespectful to the work. I've worked in prevention and recovery for a number of years in our city and in mental health for almost 20 years in our city. So I know all of the work that our professionals do every day. And I'm grateful for them being a part of this process, but this isn't to fault any work. This is a partnership to bolster the needs in our community. As I've said, 37 overdoses in our county, and we really need an all hands on deck approach.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The council members have only received the report late in the day, and it's not officially released till after this meeting. So I mean, if anybody has a question, that'd be fine, but I think it really makes sense to hold off on that perhaps until we've all had a time to absorb the document, because it's pretty long. But is there any question from council members in any case? Just,
Yeah.
Is that Jane?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it is a long document, and I will confess to have only skimmed it. But I'm wondering if it's possible, Cheryl or Mayor Johnson, to identify just sort of broad strokes, some of the specific next steps. I think this is a very exciting initiative. I'm 1000% behind it. I think it's absolutely right to have it at the county level. If it would be possible to, just for the public's, without preempting the coverage that will happen and your prepared remarks to the press, can you just give a couple of action steps for, that will come out of this decision?
Mayor, would you like to answer, or would you like me to take it?
You can take it.
So wisely, I think during the course of the 10 months, some of the providers said, there's so much here. There's so much we have to kind of get out, that the next step has to be a separate task force to look at the recommendations, figure out which ones make sense, and then develop an implementation plan to figure out how do we implement and how do we actually partner with the state. It's very important, I think, to partner with the state. And I think that the Greenberger Center has had some initial conversations with them. And I think there's an interest there. So the next immediate step is to go to the county. They have received the report now. And we will be briefing their committees and the whole board of supervisors. And we hope for a vote in July that they will agree to form a joint task force with the city. And I'm sure a lot of the players that were in our task force, so that we can together sort through all the recommendations and figure out, which should come first. The good news is, while that's happening, the Greenberger Center is going to continue to go forward with the property transfer. And we will work with People USA to get that detox center relocated. It's very important to have that 20-bed facility, as the mayor has said many times now. Substance use disorder disease is really affecting every level of our community, and we need to get that detox center up and running. So we'll be doing that, and we hope then to, as Mayor said, work around that location, the Wellness Hub, and also the Columbia Memorial Hospital to get the co-located services we need to support people who are stepping down from mental health or substance use disorder crisis. So does that help?
Thank you. It does very much. Thank you for those really concrete next steps. I will just close by saying I'm hopeful that the other communities within the county which are affected by substance abuse issues as well, and all the things that you've articulated, are fully on board with this, and that it is a truly county-wide effort that incorporates other communities. So that's my hope for this.
Thank you, Jane. Anyone else? Oh, who's that? Oh, Dominic.
Dominic.
Go ahead.
So with People USA, I know there's and totally support and great work you guys are doing on this. I'm very happy to see this move forward, as I was a supporter of People USA. So what happened to their project, and are they on board with this momentum that we had, or they had, putting that into Greenport in 66? Is it going to be a similar location where it is close to Hudson to assist, in terms of distance-wise, where it's not as rural? Is it something that is going to be local enough for our city residents to utilize?
Right. Yes, it's a good question. People USA and Steve Michio, who is the executive director, is completely on board with this. They are looking forward to working with us. They needed to move their facility from that location. The location was, I think, on the corner of Merle and 66. If you look at Appendix it's either 3 or C, I don't know how I labeled it, but the last appendix in the report has a map of the property that's being transferred to us. And you will see it's right down the road from, the People USA's previous facility location. And it's adjacent to the Columbia County Jail. So, I think it's close enough to the city that people can get there, back and forth fairly easily, but also I think provides a location that is not necessarily around a lot of other development where, people will, might be concerned about it. But having said that, I think it's so important that we take down our barriers. These are our neighbors, our friends, our peers, our children, our grandparents, and parents. It's not the other. This is our community. And so we want to find a way to help and incorporate and bring people into the community who are in crisis, and then find ways to step them down.
And I'm hoping you get the support, because I don't think anyone can reach out and not be affected, by the situation and realize the benefit of this moving forward.
Thank you.
I noticed there's a number of people from around the county on this particular meeting. So if you reach out to your supervisors and let them know your support of the project, that helps out a lot in keeping the ball moving on this process.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor and Cheryl. Any other questions, or we'll move on? We have another short presentation, not quite as dramatic, perhaps. Hillary Hellman is going to update us on the Conservation Advisory Council.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, it's not quite the heavy topic, and that's wonderful work that you're doing there, Mayor and Cheryl. I wanted to let you know about 2 topics that are going on with the CAC and are actually going to come up in resolutions tonight. We are proposing a new CAC member. Her name is Britt Zuckerman. She's a landscape architect living right here in town on North 5th, and she brings a lot of good new energy to the CAC. She's already attended the Sidewalk Ad Hoc Committee meeting earlier this evening and brought into the conversation fresh state-of-the-art stormwater containment design ideas, and that would be ADA compliant and better serve the health of our trees, and really beautiful ideas to bring to the table. So that's something that I would really encourage you to support. I think that she'll be a great addition to the CAC. On the urban forestry grant, a selection committee from the CAC got together. We reviewed all 5 of the proposals that came in, and we are really excited about one in particular that that's also a resolution that's coming up this evening. And his name is Miguel Barrios. He is from Ithaca, New York. He and his company, the company is called Land Beyond the Sea. And this is to execute the no match grant that we received from the DEC. This summer, the forestry team would come in and inventory all of the trees in the parks and the street, and then summarize in a maintenance plan report, management plan report. I just want to tell you that the reasons that we found this to be best, we thought he was really well suited for the city of Hudson, is they have a good history of producing street tree inventories, and the DEC is very pleased with their past work in other small cities. They're very qualified for the work. They checked every box on the RFP. Their practice includes environmental conservation and the reclamation of natural areas that have been damaged. and they bring a very holistic approach to what they're doing wherever they are. Meaning, yes, they'll go out and they'll get the exact data on every single tree here, but they're thinking beyond the tree. They're thinking about stormwater, natural tributaries, pollinator pathways, and they always keep all of these things in their field of vision. So we would like your support on this, and we thank you very much.
Thank you, Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking before we go to the resolutions, since we have a sort of resolution at bay at this time, which is the concerning the docks, we should probably get right into it and try to solve this issue at the top of this meeting. I was hoping that the various, well, first of all of you on the council have now received a look at both both applications, and you know what they both offer, and they're both represented here tonight, and we'll eventually want to address you. But before we do that, do we think it's necessary? I mean, are we willing to? Do we still want to reconsider it, or do we want to go with the vote as it occurred last week?
I would personally, personally, I would just like to hear a little brief summary from both sides.
Okay.
Myself.
Okay, and then we can make our decision.
Rebecca.
I'm sorry, Tiffany?
I was just echoing Malachi that I would like to have the chance to reconsider and hear more about. I mean, I think there's some important points to be made.
Okay. John, do you want to, I mean, is that just
No, I mean, definitely think we should reconsider and keep in mind some important things about this current operator that's trying to get the lease or the license, I should say. Let's reconsider.
Okay. So with that, we'll I'll toss an imaginary coin, and Mr. Knorr will be able to speak first. He represents Hudson Cruises. You have to.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm Knorr from. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, very good. I'm Knorr Rahama from Hudson Cruises. I've written the response to the RFP, and included all the information I thought was asked of us in trying to let everyone who was interested know what we were about. Now, of course, I thought our record had spoken for itself over the last 17 years. It said 18, but that would be this year included. Of course, we haven't entered an agreement for this year. But what came to my attention as it was being disputed was the fact that over the past years, we had various license agreements in place that we thought should have been extended, because this scramble at the beginning of our 6-month season to try to garner some revenue during what is the understood boating season in the Hudson Valley, which is May 1st through October 31st, is the only revenue generating season for the boats in the river. We have 12-month bills like everyone else, but we only have a 6-month revenue stream. And of course, this year it's even shorter because there wasn't even an RFP put out until the end of March with a May response time, which cut severely, as you can see from our discussion now, into our revenue generating season. It turns out the reason that we're having this dispute is something that was kind of made up. In the past, as you know, we had no and have no and still have no contention with the Sloop Club. We work harmoniously with them. We work harmoniously with the other not-for-profits on the river. Our partner is a steward. My partner is a steward of the river, teaches sea school. We teach the river to the students of the various schools. We, of course, support the only source of revenue for the lighthouse. And we've been doing public service for the ferry service for years, mostly at a loss year over year. And we've reached out many times to ask for feedback from the community as to how we could better serve this community. What we found out during this RFP was that we couldn't discuss our response with anyone. It was written in the RFP, so therefore no collusion, no dialogue with anyone in the city or with anyone who would be in competition with us. Following the letter of the law, we put forward our best foot so that anyone who didn't know us would know us from the proposed response, the proposal response. I found that when you voted, you were not given the opportunity to read either the RFP or the proposal response. So therefore, I understand why you felt that you were making a decision in the dark. It wasn't our fault. We put in a 17-page, 20-page actually RFP and a 15-page response with the exhibits. Still, a couple of you did, in fact, after the tabling of the motion, reach out to ask. Thank you very much, Dominic, and you too, Tom, to get more information, and Rebecca as well. Thank you, Rebecca. To try to get more information from me, and I was so happy that someone reached out because we were still under this quote gag order, if you will. And what's the problem is this, is we've worked with this community. I've been on board since 2008. My partner, Guy, is the operations manager. He makes sure the boats stay on top of the water. I do the other administrative stuff, and I talk to the communities and discuss matters of importance. And as you can see from my proposal response, I've been very involved in various communities up and down the river for many, many years. And we've taken a leadership position in many areas where we could help these communities to not only do better, but to thrive. And, you know, just this one thing you're talking about, the abusers, the people who've been substance abusers, you know, we reach out to try to employ substance abusers because uniquely we have to do mandatory drug testing. So what we feel is that if we get somebody who's trying to be cleaned up, and they give us an effort, you know, an effort to try to be good employees. We train them, we give them something to do that gets some money, and we ensure that they meet the standards of their relationship with the state. Also, and the big thing is this, and the most aggravating thing is, the only reason this year's in contention is because one of our employees, Sam Merritt, ex-employees, we got him his captain's license. We supported him. My wife and I subsidized him when he was getting the Apollonia together and trying to make his dream a reality. And we feel that he has a right to do that. He really does. The man has a dream. And who are we to not help him to support that dream? But one of the contentions was somehow in the document that in order to fulfill his requirement, he needed our commercial docks. Well, those are commercial docks. He's a commercial boat. So I understand the commerciality of it. But last Sunday, he loaded up on this public dock. He loaded hundreds of pounds of freight and cargo on his boat, and he can't be here tonight because he's doing his main mission, which is sail freight on the Hudson River from Albany to the Battery. That is his dream.
A second, he is here tonight and he's with us. So.
Oh, great. Well, let Sam. In fact, I would invite Sam now to engage in a dialogue about that because I noticed his document. Now, you haven't read that yet, and I don't think I should speak to that until you've read the document, or as he has had a chance to present it. The one he presented earlier. Do you remember that, Tom?
I'm not. What are you referring to? The letter he
sent?
Well,
he had a document indicating their willingness to retract their bid if we were willing to be more sharing of the docks. Yes. Okay.
Sam?
And maybe he can speak to that. Let him speak to that and then I'll come back to him.
Okay. Go ahead, Sam.
Sure. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, apologies. Nor, you are correct. And it's nice to see you, Nor. Here, I'll actually see if I can even, let me see if I can even get a video on. There, is that showing up?
Yep.
Well, it is.
Awesome. Yeah, I dropped Anchor specifically so we could tune in for this conversation. And I guess, first of all, I just want to mirror a lot of the things that Nor said. This process has been strange and bizarre and dividing. And that's really sad. I consider Nor a friend. Guy has been a mentor to me. And Hudson Cruises brings a lot of value to our community. There's no question about that. So I guess I just want to say that up front. That said, I think there's also just so much confusion here. The heart of my proposal and the reason I submitted it is because we're trying to expand community public programming on the commercial docks. We are trying to do that in a way that does not displace Hudson Cruises. And I had reached out, and I have not talked to Nor specifically about this, but I had reached out before the RFPs and talked with his partner Guy in an attempt to have one sound agenda that worked for both of us. And I was not able to come up with something there, right? Like that just wasn't, I don't want to go into it, but we were not able to come up with one proposal. So I felt like my only option was to submit a proposal. I did everything within my abilities to create a proposal that would enable Hudson Cruises, as I understand their business, and Nor, of course, jump in and correct me if I'm misrepresenting anything. It is your business, but that would allow them to run their business and would also allow us to create public programming. As everyone here is probably aware, we started a program last year called Waterfront Wednesdays. And Waterfront Wednesdays, I just want to be very clear, is about much more than the schooner Apollonia. I'm happy to talk about Apollonia. I'm aboard right now. I'll give you a tour if you want. But point is, Waterfront Wednesdays is about public programming at the docks. It's about creating connection to other vessels on the river and bringing them to our community. Through a partnership with the Tourism Board, Operation Unite, and a number of other partners, we were able to do this last season. We wrote another proposal to the city to continue this. My concern, and the reason I submitted the proposal, is that I'm worried about our ability to continue that program. And Nor is absolutely correct. And if this is the time for the dialogue, I really don't want to waste people's time. And I'm honestly not sure about this whole process. So I'm going to say, I would be very happy to rescind the proposal. Like I said, in the document I submitted, if we can simply have some assurance that there's a mechanism to bring other boats to town. The one thing I just want to be clear about is, Nor, you are correct. I did load Apollonia in the basin slip, and I can, and that's not what this is about, I guess is my point. What we can't do in the basin slip is bring in the sloop Clearwater to run public programming. What we can't do in the basin slip is bring in the Impossible Dream to run public programming. And what we can't do is the same kind of free public programming we did with Apollonia last year. And I'm happy to get into any of the details about that, but I genuinely don't know how to go into it. But so I'm gonna be quiet, but I welcome any questions, and I'm here.
Yes, Sam.
Kate, hold on. I don't want to open this up yet to the public. Thank you, though. Teresa, I don't know how you. I'd rather keep it.
May I respond?
Yes, briefly.
Okay, yeah, because right now this would be a dialogue between Sam and I, which of course we can have offline, or should have had offline, well before this came to this committee. As Sam pointed out, he was able to load on the public dock. He's begun his commercial enterprise already. We have not, because we need the commercial dock, period. In the past, all of those other boats have come and gone during various times in the season for these public opportunities. And they can still do so. We've never stopped it. We've been in charge of the dock for 17 years, and they've never not been able to come and do their programs, other boats as well. And no, they cannot always go to the public dock, but on the boat dock, there's 100 feet of dock available for them to overnight there. Now, that dock is available. It has plenty of draft. And if we're not in town, they certainly are welcome to our dock. But if we have a commercial rent on the dock, then it is a commercial rent on the dock. And we need to do it with all of our boats, because those boats are our revenue stream for the season, all three of them. And once we've rented them from the city, we have to protect them with our insurances. So when people say, well, it has to then be open to the public, the other part of the dock, the other two slips, plus Rick's Point, plus all that, remain open to the public. So does the park. We're not barring anyone from any of the public area. The private area that we have rented, we have to protect our assets, and our asset value is very high. The analogy I like to use is you have public property where you may put in, a bus garage or DPW trucks or what have you. At the end of the day, you're responsible to ensure those assets are not vandalized or somehow the public doesn't get in there and hurt themselves. And we have the same requirement. Therefore, when we get that space under a rental agreement, it says right in the document, it is our space. We cannot sublet it. We can't let anybody on it. So that's why it became a point of friction. Now, again, Sam admitted and does acknowledge that he can load and unload his boat at the public dock, which he's done. That's why he's underway as we speak. So therefore, the other boats that come in randomly can be at the public dock. I mean, the other dock, the boat dock, and not infringe on anyone. So we all can continue a very great coexistence. And the city gets its revenue for the 160 foot of space that we've rented, and we can conduct our business and get the revenue from the weddings and the other commercial enterprises that we've been working with that bring in new money, new tourism, and the people have already made reservations for the weddings we've booked. They've already made reservations at the various hotels and at the restaurants. So therefore, that revenue stream is already in place. And we've actually canceled $10,000 or more in cruises already because of this problem. And the other issue is the city wants, for some reason, we were told they need more money for the dock space. Now, we've averaged $2,000 a year rather. I'm sorry, Tom, did you want to say something?
Sorry. Yeah, I think we can sort of end it there for a while because I don't know where we're going to go with this because we have a resolution on the table. We really have to decide this in some fashion tonight because they're both.
Okay, then I'll let it go.
No, I appreciate all you had to say. I want to hear from council members how they would like to proceed with this because we can't spend endless time on this. So Rebecca, you were first.
I mean, I just wanted to add in, having read the proposals, I think that one thing that's very notable about the Sloop Club's proposal, in contrast, is that what they are proposing is to act as a dock coordinator to include Hudson Cruises and these other, programming for the community, various other, like really, welcoming other sailboats, I guess I can call them. And that seems like a categorical difference in terms of the thing that we should consider as a council about how we want.
I get it, but what is it you want us to consider?
What do you mean?
I mean, is there a motion to withdraw the existing resolution?
I'll make that motion.
We have to. Okay. Does someone want to second it?
I'll second it.
Okay. Dominic, do you want to speak to that quickly? Dominic?
Well, actually, no. Now that motion was made, my recommendation would be is because of the education that I got in both regards, and that Sam has have some things in writing that now moving forward we can look at to see if Hudson Cruises has opened that willingness up. Moving forward, another recommendation would be is that this process needs to start in February. I mean, we're so far behind, right now, and we're just going to push it far behind now with this resolution. And I think that
we can still vote on it tonight. That's rescinding it doesn't mean it's not the end yet.
Well, okay, but I'm saying that. In terms of the education that I got, in terms of, and I think also my recommendation would be both for Sam and Noor is for data. You're looking for data in what they bring into the city and via tourism. Some hard data that can help us, assess some tangible numbers would be also moving forward, an asset. Thank you.
Okay, so let's just vote on the rescind first, and then decide if we want to proceed tonight.
And what part is rescind from the resolution?
Rescinding the entire resolution, giving the contract to Hudson Cruises. A roll call vote, please, Tracy.
Alderman Garriga.
Tiffany,
Yes.
you're muted. Tiffany?
I don't understand what we're rescinding again. I'm sorry.
We had a resolution giving the contract to Hudson Cruises. This is now a motion to rescind. What? This is a motion to rescind that contract, to take it back.
The Hudson Cruises?
Yes.
Yes. Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Halloran.
Let me make sure. This is, how do I vote about Rebecca's motion to do the vote over again? And I say no, it should stand as we voted.
Okay. No, you want to, if you want it to stay, you say nay.
Nay. I want, this is very
more confused. Yeah.
It's very, very confusing, and I think it sets a bad precedent.
It does.
You know, I think it should stay the way the original vote went.
Okay, so that's a nay.
Thank you.
Well, what did she actually say? Because you said it, Tom. I just want to be clear for the record.
All right. I think this is painfully clear. If you want the existing resolution that says Hudson Cruises gets the contract, you would vote nay, because we're voting to rescind that, to take back that resolution. If you want to take it back, you say yes.
Okay, let me say nay.
Thank you, Eileen.
You're welcome, Tom, and thank you. That's the clearest explanation I've heard of this.
Tracy, please continue.
Lewis.
Nay.
Moranti.
Again, hopefully we can all work this out. And speaking with both of them, I think they can. Nay.
Mizan.
Nay.
Rosenthal.
Voting to rescind the resolution, given the information I've gotten from complaints about people about paint chips in the river, about improper stewardship from Hudson Cruises, locking the dock, the idea that we're giving a commercial monopoly on our commercial dock that should have multiple uses rather than one exclusive use is something I don't support. So I'm supporting rescinding the resolution in favor of having the two entities and multiple commercial entities being able to access the dock rather than the assertions that were made tonight.
So that is an aye, correct?
That is an aye, correct. Rescind.
Thank you. Sarar.
Nay.
Trombley.
Aye.
Walker.
I'm just gonna say, I just appreciate the Swoop Club creating the public programming, just to be in collaboration with, just known organizations, and bringing just a comfortable feel, just brought to the table. It's to me.
I'm sorry.
Said yes.
Malachi, what was your vote?
Yes.
You want to rescind it?
Hello?
Alderman Wolf. Yes.
Yes.
I did say that right, Tom, right?
I don't know. It depends on what you want to do. Do you want to take back the resolution or not?
Right. Yeah, I'm taking it back.
Okay, thank you. That's a yes.
Tom, I have a quick question.
Well, no, we're in the middle of voting, John. Hold on.
Oh, sorry, we're not done yet.
No.
All right.
President DiPietro.
I will vote yes to rescind. Now, with that, I have to say, I don't think we're going to solve this tonight. And what we can do is, rather than make this meeting go on forever, we should have a special meeting right away where we can actually hash out between everybody involved.
Just really quick,
What was the outcome of the vote?
We rescinded it.
So the rescind passed?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, with my vote, the rescind passed.
Thank you. Yes.
John, what did you want to say real quick?
Just really briefly. So the money that we're talking about too, in terms of commercial rent, that $2,400 that was proposed by the Sloop Club, that's a one-time payment. I mean, by the commercial operator, that was a one-time payment.
Mm-hmm.
That's another
I don't know. Let's just hash this all out.
All right. No, I just wanted to.
Yeah. No, I get it. We'll schedule a special meeting at the end of this meeting to go over the, separately, because we can't let this drag through this whole meeting tonight. Okay.
Thanks.
I hope that's satisfactory to everybody. Sorry, Nora, we couldn't get it done. Sam, sorry we couldn't get it done tonight, but we will put this together shortly. I mean, another day or two.
Just to recap, you voted us not to get the docs, right?
Correct. That is correct.
Okay. At this point, I'll consult with my partner and we'll probably pull our proposal. Thank you, though.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving right along, folks.
Can I add? Well, sorry, I'll get out of here. The only thing I was going to say is I do not want to hold up the Hudson Cruises operation. So if they were comfortable, whatever. If there's a way to start it before this conversation, because I know the nature of this being late is half of the problem.
No, we can't. We just can't do it right here, right now. There's just too much to do.
Excuse me. Thank you.
No, sorry. I know, Mr. Chan. I know you got a wedding coming. I wish we could address it right now, but we can't.
Okay, I just thought there was a miscount. I only counted 10 votes, but I guess
No, there was 11. I'm the 11th vote.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Sorry. Oof. Okay, moving right along. Let's get to the regular business of tonight. Oh, boy. Resolution number 1, please, Shaheen. Appointing Commissioner of Deeds. This has been introduced and seconded. If there's no discussion, can I have a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Rosenthal.
Aye.
Sauer.
I'm in the
Oh, he's recused.
so I can abstain.
Trombley.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Thank you, Tracy. Next resolution, please, Shaheen. This is, as you heard earlier, to allow the mayor to sign a contract with LBS, which is the company Miguel Barrios works for. I don't think there's any other questions from the council. A roll call vote, please, Tracy.
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Thank you.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Rosenthal.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Trombley.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Wolf.
Ecological is spelled wrong. Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
I'm sorry,
Carried.
wasn't this resolution supposed to have something about being ADA compliant as well?
No. Different
Okay.
resolution. I'm sorry, where were you, Tracy?
Carried.
Oh, thank you. The next resolution, please, Shaheen. This resolution is accepting a donation from the Colorusso family for $100,000 towards the Promenade Hill Park improvements. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Rosenthal.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Trombley.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carries.
Now, I want to explain something about the next two resolutions. Despite what you read in the paper and was discussed at our last meeting, at the suggestion of a number of, actually at the suggestion of Jeff Baker, who came up with the perfect solution in my view, we don't have to choose between these two decisions. What I'm referring to, of course, is the ADA compliance project for City Hall, to create a bond for that project, and then also to accept the donation from the Galvin Initiatives to study 400 State Street. Now, Peter Bujano is here to explain to us why accepting to go ahead with the authorization of the bond wouldn't be a waste of money if we didn't end up with City Hall at the current City Hall. Peter, could you speak to that briefly?
Yes, good evening, everyone. The idea of improving the City Hall is an improvement. So if it goes for sale at a future time, it certainly will be much more improved by adding ADA accessibility. The selected choice for improving is the minimal choice. It would provide a ramp. It would create a new accessible parking space in front of City Hall. Modifications to create an accessible entrance would be to the right of the front entrance. It'd create an accessible toilet room on the first floor, and it would create a section of the counter at City Clerk to meet ADA requirements. So all of these improvements would be returned in value should the building go for sale in the future. So in my opinion, it's a good investment. It complies with the DOJ settlement agreement, and it moves us forward, and it gets people of all types and abilities into the building rather immediately.
Okay, so the point here is that in terms of the Department of Justice, doing both projects would show the Department of Justice that A, we're dealing with the immediate need for City Hall, which, by the way, doesn't make all of City Hall compliant. And then that we're just looking at a potential use of a existing building. So let's talk about, Shaheen, could you put up the ADA compliance one first? That one, yes. And let's have a roll call vote.
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Rosenthal.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Trombley.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye. Now, Calvin, I'm going to have to put you in the waiting room for this next one.
All right.
As I said, so Shaheen, yes, that one, thank you. So once again, this is accepting, I do want to make one comment. We got a late email from Ron Kopnicki pointing out he was a little disturbed by the language where it says somewhere that we would be creating a new city hall. That is not the case. This is only to reuse the existing building. But I think the language is okay as is. Having said that, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Alderman Garriga,
Aye.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
He's recused. I mean, he's not here.
understood. Moranti,
No.
Mizan,
No.
Rosenthal,
No, this is a no-brainer. No, no, and no.
Sawar,
No.
What?
Trombley,
Oh, I've really struggled with this one. Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
President DiPietro.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Unbelievable.
The
Thank you,
resolution,
Peter.
What did you say, Tracy?
the resolution has been approved by a vote of 6 to 5.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on. The next resolution, please. Oh, let's let Calvin back in. Okay, this has already been discussed last week. Any further discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga,
Aye.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
Calvin?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Moranti,
I'm sorry, Tom. Well, I read the resolution, but what one are we on?
I'm sorry, we're on the matching funds for the parking study.
Aye. Thank you.
Mizan,
Aye.
Rosenthal,
Aye.
Sawar,
Aye.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Alderman Wolf,
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, the next resolution. I think there's no question. A roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga,
Oh, Dominic, you can't see this. This is the LGBTQ Pride Month.
Alderman Garriga,
Aye. I was just trying to understand that comment, but aye.
What? I thought Dominic can't see the resolutions as they're posted.
You're correct, because I'm on the phone, so I don't know which one we're on when you say resolution. Thank you, Tom.
Right. That's what I thought. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Thank you. None taken.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan,
Aye.
Rosenthal,
Aye.
Sawar,
Aye.
Trombley,
Sorry. Aye.
Walker,
I just have a question. Was it in July before?
It's always been in June.
Yeah, I think it's always in June.
Always.
Aye.
Wolf,
Around Father's Day.
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carried.
I have a text here from Heather Campbell. Heather, was there something you want to say about the colorusso what? I'm confused.
Yeah, my understanding is that Colorusso is not going to be making a donation directly to the city of Hudson. They're going to be making a donation to HDC or HCDPA, one of those two, which will in turn contribute the money to the city.
Right, it's HDC. HDC is acting as like an umbrella for them.
Correct. That's probably so they can get the tax credit.
Yes, that's exactly right. But
right.
I don't know. Presumably you could go back and.
Yeah, we'll have to redo it later on. It doesn't really, I think, have any impact immediately.
Well, it has an impact in that we can't actually take the donation that way. So the resolution either needs to be adjusted tonight or next month, depending on when you want the money. That's all.
No, we'll adjust it next month. We got to move along. Next resolution, please, Shaheem. This appoints Gary Pernhagen, as you all know. I wrote down his phone number somewhere in case there's anybody here to complain tonight about the Shared Streets project. He is now going to be the official manager.
I'm sorry, Tom, you said you sent us his phone number?
No, I will.
Please, because I had people calling me already.
Actually, I'll give it to you right now since it's.
Thank you.
He has no problem with it being publicized. Hold on a second. There we go. 917-744-0872.
Can you repeat that, please?
I sure can. 917-744-0872.
And
Can
I
I
have an email. It's Gary Pernhagen.
Oh, I didn't even know you're there, Gary. Sorry.
Sitting in on the sidelines.
Oh.
Email me as well, and yes, I will follow every complaint, every concern.
Yes, Gary Pernhagen at cityofhudson.org. Okay, can I have a roll call vote, please? There's this, if you're looking at the screen, you can see how his last name is spelled. And we're all set. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Thank you for your good work here, Gary. Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Nizan.
Aye.
Rosenthal.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Trombley.
Yes, but wait a minute, I want to make a statement about this. We debated having a project manager on for this project, and we ended up with basically having the salary and shortening the person's tenure. I think we've got a good candidate. I think it's great. I am disappointed that we as a council did not step up and do this with more fully throated when it first came to us. And I think that's regrettable. I just want to put that in the minutes. So that said, I most definitely support this resolution.
Walker.
Aye.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I said aye.
Wolf. Aye. President DiPietro.
Aye. Thank you, Gary. You have an interesting summer ahead of you. And fall. Okay, moving on to the new resolutions. Shaheem. Okay. This is a simple resolution. It's an interdepartmental youth transfer, transferring donations from last year to this year. It's pretty simple. Any questions? Oh, I'm sorry. Introduction in a second, please.
I have a question.
Okay, let's introduce it in a second and then we'll take questions. Okay.
Calvin, I'll introduce.
Calvin, second.
I'll second it.
Go on.
Yep, Rebecca's in there first. Your question, Tiffany?
So this money is already there for the youth department and it's just being transferred because,
Wasn't used last year. They want to use it this year. It's donation money. It's not, it's. Is that it?
I'm just thinking, because I know we have a new new director coming in. This funding is already there for the youth department to be used regardless, correct?
Yes, and I believe this is just transferring it to this year. It's a formality, really.
Okay, I'm just double checking.
Okay.
That is correct, just chiming in. Donations carry over from year to year. That one was held because there were some questions about unemployment charges, which were waived. So now that money is free and clear to be moved into the 2021 budget.
Thank you, Heather.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Rosenthal.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Trombley.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Thank you, Tracy. The next resolution. This is a resolution. What's happened is in the project to study the truck traffic route, it's been determined that it would help for us to do more outreach within the county. So this authorizes money going towards allowing the engineering and land surveying company to start that outreach. It's money that's already part of a grant. We're not putting out any money. We're just authorizing the mayor to amend the original contract. Is that all clear?
Shouldn't the CAC work with this group as well?
They're sure they could, but sure.
I was just saying that because of the committee meeting, what was discussed about the sidewalks and streets and trucks.
Yeah. Well, this is, about the truck study, and what they realize is they have to do outreach to the outside of Hudson.
Okay.
A roll call vote, please, Tracy. Oh, I'm sorry. I need an introduction.
Please.
Calvin, I'll introduce.
Calvin, a second.
Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. A roll call vote now, Tracy.
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Rosenthal.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Trombley.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Thank you, Tracy. The next resolution, please, Shaheem. This is just authorizing tourism board funds to go to for some of their expenses, flyers, translations, posters, office supplies. It's there. It's coming out of the tourism budget, by the way, not out of the general fund. Can I have an introduction, please?
Calvin, I'll introduce.
Okay, Calvin and Rebecca, once again. Roll call vote, please, Tracy.
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Nissan,
Aye.
Rosenthal,
Aye.
Salar,
Aye.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
President DiPietro,
Aye.
carries.
Next resolution, please, Shaheen. Okay, this is cleaning up a bunch of funds. Heather, you want to speak to this, just to summarize it real quickly?
Sure thing. Just as we were finishing up our final 2020 information, there are a couple accounts, and you can see some of them are as tiny as $1 or $2. Some of them are as big as like 800, which in a $12 million budget is not very great. So we're just trying to clean it up to make sure that all the expenditure accounts have the budget appropriated to them. And you're going to see another one from HPD. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's
But
all right.
you are going to see another one from HPD that is actually much more sizable. But it's the same reason.
Okay. Can I have an introduction?
Calvin, introduce.
Thank you, Calvin. A second?
Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga,
Aye.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan,
Aye.
Rosenthal,
Aye.
Saar,
Aye.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
President DiPietro,
Aye.
carried.
Thank you. Next resolution, please, Shaheen. This is appointing Britt Zuckerman. I've sent you her resume and her letter of interest to the Conservation Advisory Council. For those of you who attended the Sidewalk Committee today, you heard her speak eloquently and authoritatively about sidewalk design. That being said, can I have an introduction and a second, please?
Rebecca.
Calvin. Oh, there you go.
Rebecca and Calvin, they switch. Roll call vote, please. Tracy?
Alderman Garriga,
Aye.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan,
Aye.
Rosenthal,
Aye.
Saar,
Aye.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
President DiPietro,
Aye.
carries.
The next resolution, please. This resolution increases the salary of the youth director, our new youth director. It comes from their budget. It's not coming from the general fund. Hold on a second. Let's have an introduction in a second, then we'll talk.
Calvin, I'll introduce.
Calvin, second.
Rebecca.
Okay. Tiffany?
Well, I was going to say, and even though it doesn't seem that much of a difference, but I think it is, I think we should just hold off and let's see what the new director has to bring with the budget that is already there for the new director. I feel as though, we're just starting out with programs. I'm not sure if everyone had a chance to meet with her or speak with her through email. But for me, I feel as though we should wait before we increase any pay
Okay, Maya, the youth commissioner, and Liz York herself are both here. Let's let Maya speak to the general issue and then we'll introduce Liz.
Yes, sure. Hello, everybody. Hello, Council President and council members. So as you read in the resolution, I'm recommending this increase of the salary for our director. I wanted to let you know that it, as stated in the resolution, that it became very clear in the process of our interviews for the new director, the salary was insufficient. Each of our candidates brought that up in the interviews. And to retain a director who's qualified to do the innumerable things and take on the incredible responsibility of managing the youth department and also providing a environment for our youngest citizens. It seemed really, really important to recognize the amount of work that is part of that position. And also it is within our budget. It's in personnel. And what I would like to say also is that, you know, like the police department and the DPW, like we're responsible for our citizens and our youth. And we're existing in a time too, when there's a lot of conversation at a national level around how the people who are getting the least amount of pay are the people who are working directly with young people, with elderly, with people with disabilities, people with in the mental health field. And I feel like it's very important to recognize all that goes in as a youth educator and advocate myself. It's a huge responsibility. It's also a job that is an on-call job. And I don't know that that's ever discussed very often, but the director is on call. And in our community, we know that that can be on weekends, vacations, at night, if you're really, really serving the youth and families in our community. And Liz comes to us highly qualified. And she is having to jump into summer planning and all of the things that come with opening up this year, still in COVID times, but with ability to continue to expand our services, which we're very eager to. It's going to take a lot of work. And I also just want to make note that this $58,000 will be the lowest department head salary in the city of Hudson still, even at $58,000. So I guess that's what I have to say about that.
Okay, first, hold on to Eileen's ahead of you. You're next. Eileen?
I would like to understand, I'm going to abstain if I can't understand it tonight, but what are the salaries typically for the other department heads and how many years have they worked towards getting that? I think to come in at a salary that's right around long-term department heads is, I'm not comfortable with it. And
okay,
so I abstain.
Well, certainly we all know that DPW earns well over $100,000 a year.
Yes, that's true if I may finish.
No, I thought you were, sorry.
I was, Tom, I was. I didn't mean for you. I just think that's a lot to walk in the door earning before very much has been demonstrated. So I abstain.
Okay, when we get to
I don't think it's
Tiffany's next.
Yeah, I don't think it's time to vote yet, Eileen, so you just might change your mind. But I wanted to say, you know, every year, the money from the general funds, it increases as far as when departments are asking for an increase in their budget or for programming. So it will come from the general fund. Yes, we are in a time of COVID and we don't know if things are going to stay the same, if we might have to go back on lockdown again. We don't know what the future holds. But everyone knows I have always been an advocate and a champion for the youth department, for our children. And I just want to say we are all on call for our constituents and our children in our wards. But right now it is May 2021, and this I forget her name, Liz, you said she applied for the position, and we're grateful that she applied for the position, but to not even really start yet and ask for an increase for her position, I think as a council, we should wait. Let's see some progress. Let's see some work. Let's see what our kids are saying from the youth department. Let's hear from the parents that has engaged with our new director like they did with our former director, and take it from there. I think we should wait as a council. It's not a rush. It's the beginning. And yes, it may be the lowest amount of the department. Maybe the seniors are lower. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I don't think that determines the position of the youth director to compare it to DPW. But for right now, I strongly suggest to the council to wait. Let's see some results. Let's see what is being produced with our children. And then we can move forward with a yes or no. I think this is a rush.
Thank you.
And Tom, just one more.
Hold on a second. Can I let, there's a little bit of order. Dominic's up next. Dominic?
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Just a couple quick points, and welcome aboard, Liz. But civil service in 2017, starting salary for the announcement for director position was $37,500, I believe. And so, you know, if you had issues in terms of starting with the salary, then 6 weeks ago during the search, maybe this is the time you should have approached. Additionally, that budgeted money salary for the next position was, I think, $54,000. So you're also asking a raise, something that Nick wasn't afforded. So and also, you know, last week they were talking about needing possible funds for the summer programs, personal funds. So personally, I think that it should go back into the camp program. If you tell me of excess funds, and like Tiffany said, you know, you kind of knew what you were getting into. And I looked on the city website, couldn't find the job posting, but I don't think there was a salary posted on the job posting. However, whatever you guys discussed should not have went above what was budgeted for that position. So I think right now, this is definitely not the time. If there's extra money right now, it should go to the kids and the summer program, not top heavy into a position that somebody just, you know, came into. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Next up is Rebecca.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked, and I think this is extraordinarily disrespectful to the youth department staff and the hiring committee and the people who are, you know, responsible for making these decisions within the youth department. And, you know, number one, I think it's been made clear it's in their budget already. So it's, you know, a decision to prioritize retaining high quality staff, which is something that, you know, we need to do at every level of people, you know, people who work with our children and people, you know, teachers, all of the people kind of interact, contact with children. And so I just want to really support the decision to pay what sounds like a very reasonable wage, or, you know, for this position, which is extraordinarily busy. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm doing councilman first, then there's a couple of citizens who want to talk. So Eileen, you're up next.
Well, I just wanted the record to show that Alderman Garriga and I were in the very same spot on this issue. So it was nice to partner with her around this.
Okay, Dewan. Have your
Yes,
hand up.
yes, totally agree with Tiffany and Dominic and Eileen, because when we put this position and she accepted that for that salary. Now she don't even started, and we already tried to increase the salary. We should give it a time, see and see how she's doing, and then we could think about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dewan. Tiffany, can you make it quick so you get to
Yes.
some other people?
Okay, I will. And also, I want to say thank you, Eileen, and I also agree with Dominic and Dewan. The money, if anything, should go back to where the programming that was requested for the children, and not to increase someone's salary. And to Rebecca Wolf, we are council members and we are here to state our opinions on what's going on in our community, and it is not disrespectful. Thank you, Tom.
Okay, now to some community members. Claire Cousin would like to speak. Claire?
I just wanted to echo what the council was saying. I think waiting a little bit might be beneficial, because for me, I can see this as being one of the most expensive years for the youth program, seeing as things are opening up almost fully. We're trying to figure out at what capacity, and we want it to be, as potent with potential for the kids and families to want to stay engaged. So just bracing for that and understanding that there are other entities in the community who believe that youth director should have a raise. And there are other ways of assuring that that will happen, such as the protests that have happened around unionizing, keeping things like that in mind. Because I think what Rebecca was saying about it coming off as disrespectful to staff is something to consider. It sets a tone that I don't think was intended. I think there are more conversations to be had around what the position is, what it has been, what the potential for it to be will be. So I don't think that it's wrong in stating that the youth director deserves more money, but I think that there's a timeliness that needed to be considered in this ask.
Thank you, Claire. Next, Nick Zakos.
Hi, I would just like to, I guess I should just make perfectly clear that I'm speaking as a citizen, but also as the former director. And I think it's important to note, Dominic, first of all, we've gone over this a few times.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, now we can.
Civil service does not determine the pay of city employees. This comes up every budget all the time. Civil service does not create the salaries. That happens within the budget, and the budget that all the aldermen vote for every year during the budget process is what decides it, unless there's a resolution like this that changes it. But civil service doesn't do that. And I wanted to also be clear, because Dewan, I think, mentioned that she's asking for a raise. That is the furthest thing from the truth. Liz did not ask for this raise. This was something that we've been trying to do for years. I never wanted to give myself a raise, because we were always, like Tiffany is saying, pushing for money for programs, but that came at an expense. And now when we're trying to hire somebody, we put ourselves in a difficult position, because we have everybody who was applying for the position was looking at a pay decrease to come here because his salary is so low. In thinking about youth work is always undervalued. And this position pays essentially what a starting public school teacher makes. And public school teachers don't get paid enough. And this is a director of the youth department, the person who is responsible for the well-being and the safety of every youth in our community. For 200 youth during the summer at our summer camp, for the entire staff of upwards of 50 summer staff members, for all of the lifeguards, for the maintenance of that entire park. And then for the other 10 months of the year, for an entire other program and all of those staff and the maintenance of that building. It is a huge job. No other department head in the city staffs as many people as the youth department year in and year out. And this position gets paid half of what those other department heads make. And I'm not advocating for them to get less pay. I'm just advocating for this to be equitable, and it's not equitable right now. And I don't know what performance measures people would be suggesting we're looking at. And I have the utmost respect for Tiffany. You know I love you, but kids don't have any idea who the director of the youth department is. If you were to go and talk to kids,
Exactly. And I'm addressing you because you're
you gotta let
saying
me
my
finish.
name.
Hold on, Tiffany, let him speak first, okay? Go ahead.
if you ask kids in the community who's the director of the youth department, they would have no idea who it is. They have no idea it was me, and they wouldn't know what kind of a job I was doing, and they won't know what kind of a job Liz is doing. Liz is an incredibly experienced professional. And this is, I feel bad putting her in this position because we wanted to up the salary. We had it in the budget. We didn't have to change anything. We didn't have to move lines. It's all right there. And so we wanted to be able to put the salary at the right position at the right time. And it does affect the other staff because the other staff members in the budget that all of you voted for last year are butting right up against there. The second highest paid employee is $48,000. There's barely any tiered salary in the department. And so this is a really important thing. And I think that for the benefit of the youth department in the city, I would highly, highly advise that all the aldermen vote to support this. It's incredibly important to have the youth department salaried at the right position, at the right level, and not at a too low of a level. It's really, it's a really important thing. And it's one of the last things that I tried to do as leaving that I never wanted to do for myself, but I thought it was very important to have this salary. And I would advocate very strongly that aldermen vote to support this.
Thank you, Nick. Tiffany, since you were addressed, you can go next.
Thank you. Thank you for loving me and for being the advocate of the youth department. But you have to understand, Nick, just like you said, no, the kids don't know exactly what the youth director means or executive director means. A lot of children don't even know what an alderman means. Okay. If I say, do you know what who's in charge? They would say Nick or Nikki. You know, they don't know those exact titles. So let's move that out the way. Second of all, like I said, and also agreeing with the public comment that was made from the public. No one is saying that department heads should not have a certain amount of money or make a certain amount of money. But when she entered the agreement for taking on the position, that is what I'm pretty sure she said, what am I being paid? And accepted that. We're not saying that she's never going to get a raise or anything of that nature, but she just started. We didn't even hear from our kids yet that they said, we like Liz or we like Miss Liz, or we didn't hear any of those things. We just know that you decided to move on and we have somebody to fulfill that position, right? Okay. So with that being said, you know, we've been talking about it, the programs was mentioned even last week and before that, how summer programs are gonna need that funding. I would rather see the money go there first.
Okay, there's one last person who would like to speak, and it is
Tom.
No,
can I
hold on, Dominic. Hold on.
And just so the council knows, she would be making as much as the mayor.
No.
You'd be making less than the mayor.
Less than that. But Liz, did you want to speak? Let's give Liz a chance here. Liz? There you go.
Hi.
Sorry, you had to be a witness to this, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the way that I wanted to meet everyone, and I'm sorry that this is how we are meeting. I do want to say that I was not asking for a raise. I'm not trying to take money away from the program. It's the very last thing I want to do. There's confusion around there was confusion around the conversation that brought me on, it sounds like, and a misunderstanding of what the starting salary was. And, you know, I am very qualified. I know you don't know what I've done and what I can do, and I get that, and I understand that, and I understand that I need to earn some trust and respect in a new community. It makes sense. And, you know, I did, I was hoping that this would be my salary, and this was how I have planned my living arrangements and everything around this. And so it's in your hands, and I don't know what more I can say. Just I want to reiterate, I didn't come in asking for a raise. That wasn't how the conversation went. I don't want to take money away from programming. I wish we weren't getting to know each other when this being our first conversation. It is extremely unfortunate. And I hope that you will give me the grace to get a second chance at a first meeting with all of you.
Definitely.
After this.
That'll be yes. Rebecca?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that I really think that there's a misunderstanding of our place as the council in approving or not approving, you know, what the staff of the youth department have made this decision. Like, so basically what I'm getting at is I don't think it's our place as council members to say, oh, that money should be spent on programs instead.
You're right.
That is not our, I mean, we don't have the insight into the programs and into what they cost and into what goes into this job. We simply do not. And I think it's just a huge misstep. And so I really just urge you to support this, this shift in salary.
Okay, Tracy, let's have a roll call vote, please.
Well, Tom, can I address Nick? Because he said something, so can I address Nick?
Quickly, please.
Thank you. Nick, I was not referencing civil service on making a salary. I'm saying that your announcement in 2017 was starting at 37.5. Initially, this current position is a provisional, appointment. And I apologize to Liz if she was promised something in an interview that did not come through the council in approving a salary increase, and now she's in a predicament that is unfortunate. So if that is what happened, then I apologize, but that's not the way it should have went down in terms of asking for this prior to any appointment.
Well, commissioners actually do have some rights in this regard. But anyway, let's have the roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga.
I would like to say $2,000 less than the mayor, and I vote no.
Halloran.
I vote nay, and Liz certainly look forward to meeting you different circumstances. But it's no at this point.
Lewis.
Vote aye.
I'm sorry.
Aye, yes.
Thank you.
I support.
Moranci.
No.
Mizan.
Well, my idea is she just got the job. She needs to show her performance. After that, council is going to think about that. And at this moment, I will say no.
Rosenthal.
Just like to echo what Alderwoman Wolf and Nick said, and I support this. I'm voting yes, and I think it's unfortunate that the new director has to be subjected to this.
Salar.
Yes.
I vote nay.
Trombley.
I think this is a really unfortunate discussion. I'd like to know when the council decided that we were the HR department. I think I agree with Alderwoman Wolf entirely. This is not about the person. This is about the role. It's extremely unfortunate and embarrassing to be put in this position with regard to an individual who has come into this job in good faith. So I absolutely support the salary of $58,000. So I'm voting yay.
Walker,
I mean, Liz, welcome. Sorry, had to be under these conditions, like everybody else is stating. I don't think we realize how much goes into overseeing these programs. I just think the department heads are getting well over the initial amount of 50K. She's coming in as direct care, as the head of the department. I really think she should be compensated well. And I've always advocated for direct care individuals should be paid more. And that's, and again, and I understand what, everybody else that didn't vote for it are saying as well, because we do have to build a relationship. We have to, build sort of a trust system, and, we have to get to know individuals. But I think initially coming into this thing, we do not realize how much goes into this work. And I'm gonna vote a yes for this.
Wolf,
Yes.
President DiPietro.
I believe it's 5-5, and I vote yes.
Resolution has been approved. The vote is 6 ayes and 5 nays.
Thank you, Tracy. Moving right along to the next resolution, please, Shaheem. These are transfers within the cemetery fund accounts. Any questions? Can I have an introduction, please, in a second?
Rebecca,
Calvin, I'll second.
Thank you, Calvin. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga,
Aye.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan,
Aye.
Rosenthal,
Aye.
Starr,
Aye.
Trombley, Walker,
Aye.
Wolf,
aye.
President DiPietro,
Aye.
carried.
Thank you, Tracy. Next resolution, please. Okay, excuse me. This authorizes the tourism board to use $2,000 of its money to buy some more barriers, because a number of people, after seeing how the program is going, would like to also get some barriers, and that's what this money is for. It's money in the tourism board budget. Any questions? Can I have an introduction in a second, please? Hello?
Calvin, Andrew.
Calvin?
I'll second it, Rebecca.
Rebecca? Thank you both. A roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga,
Tiffany, are you there?
Said aye.
Oh, we couldn't hear you.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan,
Joshua, are you there?
I think he left.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I don't see.
Rosenthal,
Aye for the green zone barriers.
Starr,
Aye.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Malachi? You there? Where is it? Oh, he's here. Malachi?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I got disconnected or something. I'm here. Aye.
Thank you.
Wolf,
Aye.
President Pietro,
Aye.
carried.
Thank you, Tracy. The next resolution, please. Nope. Next one. This is a transfer from one budget to another for internet services. Let's see. Just changing lines from which the internet services are paid, moving from one line in the mayor's office, I'm sorry, to the mayor's office from leftover money in hospitalization. I mean, money in hospitalization. Is that right, Heather? Are you there? If you're there?
Yes, I am still there. Yes. So
Okay.
this is for basic IT services. Those expenses have increased over time as security and cyber threats have increased. So a lot of that because it's been centralized for City Hall in general. The mayor's office has picked up, so this is providing the funds in order to cover that.
Thank you. Introduction in a second, please.
Calvin, I'll
I'll
introduce.
introduce.
Calvin, and who was that also?
I'll second. It's Walker.
Oh, Malachi, thank you. A roll call vote, please. Tracy?
Alderman Garriga, Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan, Rosenthal,
Aye.
Starr,
Aye.
Excuse me.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
President Pietro,
Aye.
carried.
Next resolution, please, Shaheen. This is, let's see. Is this all this is all moving police budget items to the police payroll to cover a shortage to balance the expenses of 2020. These are, some of the, we've had a couple of these. These are just balancing out last year. Can I get an introduction and a second, please?
Eileen, I'll introduce.
Oh,
Dewan.
thank you. And who was second?
Dewan.
Dewan. Thank you both. A roll call vote, please. Tracy?
Alderman Garriga,
Aye.
Oh my God.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan, Rosenthal,
Aye.
Starr,
Aye.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
President Pietro,
Oops, aye.
carried.
Next resolution, please, Shaheen. This is I don't know, is Michael here by any chance?
Hey, Tom, I'm here.
Yeah, could you explain this one, please?
Yep. So this is the contract for Arterial is the contractor for the Hudson Connects project. which is the DRI projects for both the complete suites and the staircase. So we have completed phase 1 of the project, where they came in and presented to the council. Basically, phase 1 was coming up with some list of prioritization, was doing the demonstration projects at Front and Warren and State Street, coming up with the start of sort of like the broad strokes around materials, and then doing some not survey work, but they did what they called a high performance street analysis of basically analyzing the entire DRI district and looking at things like ADA accessibility, street trees, like accessibility, like usability for bicycles or walking, those kinds of things. So they have sort of like getting the general gist of what the neighborhood is, getting public feedback, and then starting to prioritize the project. So phase 2 is sort of taking that, and if you're familiar with what we did with Promenade Hill Park, it's kind of like they're starting where Promenade Hill Park started. Promenade Hill Park, the project started, we already knew we had a specific location in mind and we had a specific scope. So phase 1 was kind of scoping it, and now going into phase 2, this is the next phase of the project. So I'm not sure if I think they included the memo. If you read the memo is like in more detail about what that phase 2 includes. And so we can go through that if you want. But this is that next phase of the DRI project.
I think the resolution makes it clear. It's project design, public outreach, and preparation of documents and construction oversight. This is, of course, all DRI money, folks. An introduction and a second, please.
Calvin, I'll introduce.
Calvin, a second.
Duan.
A roll call vote, please. Ooh, who's that? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan. Rosenthal.
Aye.
Bauer.
Aye.
Trombley.
Aye.
Walker.
Malachi? You're muted. Malachi, you're muted. There you go. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Man, what's going on? Okay. Yes, aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Shaheem, could you skip the next one? Because we're going to probably talk about that and go to the last one, since it's a simple one. Not that. Yeah, that there. Simple. Let's see. Who's given this? Doesn't say. It just said they received donations.
The second page lists the donators.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Do you have that? Is it there? Shaheem? Second page? Ah, there we go. John and Janice Wallace, Doris Funk, Jacqueline Dunbar, Maureen O'Mara, Marcia Race, Antoinette Scora, and Heather Rossman. Can I have an introduction and a second, please?
Calvin, I'll introduce.
Calvin, second.
Rebecca.
A roll call vote, please.
Alderman Garriga.
Aye.
Halloran.
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Rosenthal.
Aye.
Sauer,
Aye.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, the last resolution. This basically, all of this was taken out of the budget in anticipation of number of things. As mentioned, excuse me, in the resolution that we were in deep trouble with our fund balance. Secondly, we weren't sure there would be a summer program because of COVID. This restores the summer program. Is that accurate, Maya?
It is accurate, yes. Again, we won't be able to work, probably won't be able to do full capacity, the 200 some children that we've done pre-COVID because of health, New York State and county health restrictions around COVID, but it really pushes things much closer to what they were and back to normal. So we're very excited about being able to offer that to the community, to the families, to the children who have had a very hard year. And
how many children are being accepted?
We are it's just under 100, I believe. And so I believe Nick discussed that last week with us. And we are hoping that maybe if things look better, that it could even be more. But right now we're having to be very modest in what we can do based on the numbers now.
First, can I get an introduction in a second?
I'm gonna introduce.
A second?
Rebecca.
Okay. Further discussion? I don't see any hands up.
This is exactly what we were talking about earlier with the previous resolution.
Okay.
Like, we don't know what's gonna happen. We have less children, and now we have an increased raise. This is exactly what we were talking about.
And Eileen do Freaky Friday or something? Freaky Wednesday?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Any other any other discussion? Then let's have a roll call vote, please. Tracy?
Alderman Garriga.
For the programming, aye.
Halloran,
Aye.
Lewis.
Aye.
Moranti,
I would like a little bit more time. I think this resolution came today, so to look into exactly what they're looking at for program, how many kids to serve. And again, this is what I just was talking about in terms of the $8,000 that we just approved. So I'm going to abstain from this.
Rosenthal,
Aye.
Sauer,
Aye.
Trombley,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye. And
Carried.
with that, thank you, Tracy. We are done with resolutions. As you know, we have a local law on your desks. I think we have to leave it there for a little bit longer. Am I right, Jeff? Jeff, you there? You're muted if you.
Sorry, I know, I'm trying to unmute. Yes, you should hold it.
Okay. Shane, you can take the screen down. A couple of things.
Excuse me. We
Yes.
need the motion to lay it on the desk.
Oh, okay. I thought we
We
did.
have not had that
Oh,
action.
thank you. Can I have a introduction and a second to lay that law on the desk?
Okay, I'll make a motion to lay the
Alvin.
resolution.
Duan?
And Dewan. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. Now, I don't know what the status is now of the boat contract. If indeed Mr. I'm sorry, I don't remember his last name, so I'll call him
Rahman.
Noor. What's that?
Rahman.
Rahman. If
Right.
Mr. Rahman is indeed withdrawing his application, that sort of settles that. If not, and I will find out tomorrow where it stands, I will try to schedule a special meeting. I think the best time I could come up with would be next Monday at 7.
Well, I spoke with my partner and he feels we should leave it on the table and leave it up to your discretion.
Okay, so then we will. Is that a problem for council members next Monday at 7? Okay, let's schedule it for that, next Monday at 7. Nora, you'll be there and we'll hash this out. I think we all
Okay.
have the documents we need, right? Everyone on the council? We have the applications, we've seen the various statements.
Tom, I would invite anyone who has any questions or need clarification to please get in touch with us, because I know someone did mention they felt that someone should take care of handling other boats that are coming to the docks, which of course we were the de facto harbor masters for 17 years and no one ever had a problem getting to the docks. So I just want to make sure that people understand all those things. So if anyone has any questions, please share my email or my text information with them.
Yes, I will do that.
Thank you very
Tom,
much. Have a wonderful
Is
night.
this
Yeah.
special meeting going to come to a conclusion? Because I feel really bad that somebody's wedding has been destroyed
It hasn't been
because
destroyed yet.
listen, preparation. It's stressful enough. You know what I mean? And I just think this is bad business on our part, that we're dragging something out, and that
Well,
that should never happen. I'm just saddened for that individual.
Tom, can
Yes,
I?
Kate,
chime
yes,
in?
ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
so, I think it's been a really amazing process to talk to the individuals who want to have their wedding. And I think the city should absolutely make sure that it happens, no matter what. It's our responsibility. So, whatever the resolutions, need to pass, we should just make sure that it happens for sure. Thanks, Tom, too.
Yeah. Yes, I will send all the information for I think you have a lot of documents. You also can contact Nora and Sam as well. Maybe we'll resolve it offline before Monday, but in the meantime, let's schedule that meeting for 7 o'clock on Monday. I don't want to be well, never mind. But someone scheduled a wedding without a guarantee. I mean,
Well, other people scheduled shipments without a guarantee as well, and they were able to do it.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a commercial enterprise,
Right.
and you do what you have to do
Okay.
as
I think
early
we
as
should
possible.
say
So
that.
thank you.
Yeah. No, I get it. Anybody else in the community want to talk about anything? We're open.
President.
Who's that?
This is Chris Chan, the hopeful. I'm in the room basically. I have Adrian here as well. Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you everyone for your support, and we understand that there's, I guess, a process for these things. We didn't know it was going to be not a sure thing. It's just sort of, we thought our last wedding day was a sure thing too. So we understand how the things go. So we just wanted to say thank you all.
I'm really sorry, as we all are, I think.
Thank you.
Your hand up first. Let me check. It is Rebecca, and then Tiffany, then Claire, then Kamal, then Jane.
Thanks. I have two items. They're distinct from each other, but one is, well, both are coming from constituents. One is a request from a business owner that the city put some kind of message on the website or somewhere prominently available to the public that basically supports the local businesses' desires around mask wearing
Hello.
and around,
Yeah, hi, what's up?
distancing.
Well, I'm still listening to the rest of the meeting.
Abdullah, you're mute yourself, please.
I'm hearing them. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Yeah, so this is a request from a business owner that the city formally recognize that it's important that public honor the requests of the businesses to socially distance and wear masks. So the business owner requested that it be on the city website so that if they needed to kind of address somebody in their business, that they could refer them to the website.
Well, Jeff, does that coincide with the governor's mask mandate, unmasking mandate?
I'm not sure I heard fully what Rebecca
Yeah, Rebecca
said.
wants to put it on the city website that citizens should cooperate with businesses that ask them to mask up before they go in. Correct?
Yeah, that's consistent. I mean, it's certainly the businesses have the right to decide how they want people to come in and, to wear masks or not. It's certainly not lessening what the governor's mandate is.
Right, but I just was questioning, can we put that on our website, the city website?
That we urge people to, respect the orders of businesses. Sure.
Sounds good. Rebecca, could you write something and we'll send it to Michael to post?
Okay, sure.
More?
Well, yeah, there's a separate thing. I'm sorry.
That's
There's
all right.
something that's come up, which is that probably many of you have seen this on the Hudson Facebook page, that there's a confusion around the the permitting fee for the chicken law, the chicken permits. And so there have been some residents who've been informed by, or I should say misinformed by the code enforcement office that there's a $500 permitting fee for a special use permit to have chickens. And the code actually states that it's a $25 permit fee. So we need to do something about this, because I don't know how many people the code enforcement office has told this. And obviously it needs to be clarified for code enforcement.
Yeah, I totally agree with this. So one of our community have this information.
Okay, next up is Tiffany.
Well, first I want to respond to what Rebecca was saying about the chicken law and everything. I had someone, that was writing on social media with the complaint, and I had made a 3-way call with the code enforcement officer. And he read it several times, and it stated it clear that upon the application fee, upon the approval of the special or the conditional permit that is approved from the planning board, if it's approved, then specifically for the chicken law, they would pay a $25 annual fee. But it states it in the law that it's the fee, the $500, that it's the application fee. It doesn't state the amount, but it states that it's an application fee for the planning board. That's what it states. And the reason why there's not a specific number in there is because the council can change it every time, every year, or every 2 years. And if they do it through the code, they would have to rewrite the code and everything. That's why it was done that way, and that's why it was explained that way. And if anybody, do the same thing, you can call Craig. He will read it to you, explain it to you, but he read it 4 times. It's in the code.
But he's
that's it.
No, I get it, but he's misunderstanding the code.
I'm not going back and forth with you, Rebecca. I just stated what I had to say, and that was it.
Rebecca, he's not.
Thank you, Tom.
He's not. That's the price of a site plan approval. I mean, a site plan, not approval, that's what I'm looking for, a site plan.
Application fee.
Application, thank you.
I'm gonna look, I read the code today, and it basically makes it clear that there's a different special use permitting fee for the chicken law.
It's not for the permitting fee, it's for the site plan
application fee for the planning board, and that's for anyone.
For any
that-
site plan.
That's for anyone that is going to have an application fee before the planning board. That is the fee for anyone. And once it's approved, then they would pay that annual fee of that less amount.
Okay, well,
Correct.
that seems really
If I
good.
may,
Sure, Jeff.
this is the first I'm hearing about it, and I'm looking at the law. While normally we have a fee for the special, for conditional use permits, you know, that's set forth in your fee schedule. Rebecca's right. We set a permit application fee for $25 and an annual renewal fee of $25.
Yes.
Yes, we're not talking about that. We're talking about
Right.
the application for the planning board. That
Correct.
is,
That's the
what we're talking
conditional,
about.
no, that's the conditional use permit application. That's what-
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
But
That's
and
where,
we say it shall be $25,
once
which
approved.
makes sense when you were considering doing this, is a special use permit is usually a much bigger deal, and that covers the costs of the planning board to be able to resolve that. So you have the $500 cost there. But you decided when we wrote this that there would be the application fee of $25 for a conditional use permit. It says the fee for a conditional use permit application under this article shall be $25. And then there's an annual renewal fee of $25. There's no usual annual renewal fee for conditional use permits.
Okay, can you straighten this out with Craig for us, please?
Yeah,
Jeff?
which one are
I'll
you
talk to
reading?
him.
17 dash, which one are you reading?
Let's not,
70-18C.
meanwhile, there are a couple hands up. Claire Cousin.
I wasn't
Oh,
done.
okay.
It just
Okay.
happened to be a back and forth unnecessarily with Rebecca. But I just wanted to invite the council and the public to HCHC, which stands for Hudson Catskill Housing Coalition, to their 1-year anniversary. It's a time to celebrate and a time to remember. June 1st, 420 Warren Street. It will be from 5 to 7:30 p.m. It will be a COVID-safe environment. It will be free food provided by Pippi's Food Truck. We will also have a DJ and as we reclaim Warren Street, 7:30 to 9, we will have the community speak out, and we will also hold a candlelight visual to highlight housing displacement. So with the housing crisis that we all know that's going on, I hope you all can at least stop by.
Thank you. Claire, did you want to speak again?
Yeah, I just wanted to make 2 separate comments. One, I wanted to commend the mayor on his efforts around addressing addiction and homelessness. I think that a lot of people, when they hear homelessness, think of the situation in 7th Street Park, and that's like the worst case scenario of homelessness in our city. We have a huge problem. Anybody that doesn't have their name on a lease can consider, you know what I mean? Like if you're if it's not a rooming arrangement and you don't have your own space, you're technically homeless. And the goal is to help people not get into these situations where addiction becomes a way to get over the crisis. So meeting people's needs helps combat addiction, and putting them together is, I think, a great effort, and coming from the mayor says a lot about the direction the city is trying to take. The other comment I wanted to make is, I know I've heard a lot of people speak about the way that the cinder blocks look on Warren Street. I think it'd be cool if maybe some businesses could think of a way to sponsor some local artists to decorate the blocks, kind of go along with the trend of getting city artists paid and taken care of and highlighted.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, Claire, but I don't know if Gary's still here, but in fact, at last night's tourism board, that very idea came up, and I think he will do something like that. So it's a very good idea.
That sounds awesome.
It's an excellent idea because I also had it.
What's his name, Tom? Gary what? Gary who?
Hagen. And yes, that's a great idea. And that's definitely, and again, if you want to contact him as well, feel free.
Sure. I feel like, we should reach out to some people that have recently organized around getting local artists paid. There's a few different people that have started some efforts. So
Great, thank you.
thank you.
Jane would like to speak.
Yeah, I would, but are we in new business, Tom? I've lost track.
Yeah.
We are, okay. Throughout this meeting, and of course, there's been a lot of feelings of discontent, and I have to express my own crisis of conscience in a vote that was taken earlier this evening regarding the 400 State Street, and I would like to propose a resolution, if it's possible, to rescind my vote.
Wait, you voted?
I voted in favor of it, and I feel I made a mistake.
Actually, I think you voted against it. Tracy, still here?
Well, if I voted against it, then.
No, she voted yes for it.
Oh, well, see, no, maybe John, maybe Tom was right. Maybe I did vote against it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my heart.
Okay.
And I want to go on record as having voted against it. So I would propose a resolution that I rescind my vote.
You voted for it, Jane.
Pardon me? I'm sorry, there's overlapping conversation.
Yeah, it's up to Tracy. Jane didn't
Yes,
vote.
on resolution number 4 pertaining to 400 State Street, Alderman Trombley voted aye.
Yeah, and Alderman Trombley made an error in my heart. And I am wondering, and this is very, very difficult personally, but I'm wondering if I can rescind that. And that's my proposal, my resolution that I offer.
I don't think so with a regular meeting, right, Jeff? Not with the regular meeting.
It was this evening.
You would have to do a resolution, a motion to rescind the vote,
So,
and resubmit the question.
wait, for the whole vote, or is it just my?
I think for the whole vote. I think it's the motion was passed, was made, it was adopted. There would have to be a decision of the full council to rescind that motion, and then to have a revote or leave it without action.
Okay, well.
Rebecca,
can I ask a question?
Yeah, hold on. Rebecca had her hand up first, then we'll get to you. 1 second, Tiff. Rebecca?
Yeah, I just don't think we finished with the chicken situation.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have Jeff talk to Craig and straighten this out.
Okay, so like very soon though, because there's actually people who have applied who want to have chickens. Yeah. They have been told it's $500. So. And
I'll try and talk to them tomorrow.
Of people who have already paid $500 unnecessarily.
They would submit a claim to the city that would get reviewed by the council that could decide to pay them back.
Okay, so you'll talk to him like very soon?
Yes, I will try and talk to him tomorrow.
Did you talk to him?
I don't need to talk to him.
Okay.
Okay, speaking of chickens.
Okay, this meeting's getting a little out of control here. Anybody else?
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Jane.
Can I just resolve this issue? I'm sorry, Tom. I
had a question.
Well, okay. Okay, what's the question?
My question is, I'm just curious to the council. We hear how people has complained about the gravel trucks and trying to get the gravel trucks off the road, but we accept a donation from Colorusso, right? But now when it comes to supporting the city being ADA compliant, and because it's coming from Galvin, oh no, don't take, I just trying to understand the maybe I don't know the right word, I can't get the right word, but I just want to understand the difference from the council when you say we don't you know, we have these gravel trucks and they're causing all these issues and health issues, but you accept the donation. But now you have a developer in the city that's helping out same way, want to do a donation, making sure the city's being ADA compliant, helping out, and that's a problem. I just want to understand the difference, that's all.
Well, I'll tell you an example of it, because if they're going to spend $100,000 on a study that we know is going to go nowhere,
Do not
that
know.
money, hold on, Tom, I'm speaking. That money could go and be used immediately for them to help alleviate rent problems for people through the organizations they run. They could do a whole lot. So I would say if we're asking for housing, I'm talking now. I'm talking now, Tiffany.
Because you have stated the claim
I'm talking
you
now.
are totally against the foundation.
I am talking now, Tiffany.
Here
I
you're
am
talking,
saying
but you're against the foundation.
I'm for the foundation to be transparent and for us to scrutinize them. That's what I'm for. And then we could work with them. I'm not for running whole hog into everything that they want to do. So yes, it's my opinion that I think it would look like a bad thing for us to take money from them to do a study that would, to move us into a building that will cost a tremendous amount of money to do. I think it's absurd that we're willing to take money and waste their money to do that. So that is my opinion. And I think I think my opinion will be borne out by fact. And on top of that, if we are going to move forward with it, it would just be interesting to see how quickly we can move with the construction to get our current building ADA compliant, which I absolutely think we need to do. And we've wasted a lot of time not doing it. And I would like to know how long it would take the RFP to be crafted for Eric Galloway City Hall to go forward.
Is Peter here? I don't think it would take very long at all.
That wasn't a surprising answer. Tom, what was you gonna say?
I'm sorry.
I'm here, Tom.
Yes, Peter, that RFP could be done pretty quickly, right?
Yes, if they're both approved and they move forward, we can go parallel with them. We could issue, what we'll need to do for the City Hall first is we have a concept pretty much. We don't have biddable documents. So we would need to arrange with the consultant to prepare biddable documents. I would be willing to do the procurement end of it so that the construction could start as soon as we can get those documents together and placed out to bid. And then once the bid comes in, so in concept, we could get that construction started within the next 60 days if everything goes well. As far as the feasibility study, we can launch that as soon as possible. Take a couple weeks to put it together, about 30 days, 3 weeks on the street, responses back. So another 60 days or so, we could get a result on that and make a decision to award.
Wonderful.
Okay, this started with my wishing to rescind the vote. Can we get back to that? I didn't.
Jane, one more thing, just for clarity, one more thing. So is the council in agreement that I should proceed with at least getting the biddable documents, getting some proposals from the consultant so that we can move forward at least with that right now?
With
Is the bonding?
Yes?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'm sorry, Jane, go ahead.
Okay. So when you said, Peter, when you say consultant, you mean, is that for the first vote on the City Hall?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
For
okay.
the City Hall, yes, for the City Hall.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if it could have started yesterday, that would have been great.
Now, this is really, this is now another vote that we're trying to turn back. I mean, this is really, really not.
I know.
Well, yeah, it's unfortunate, but
well, I don't understand, frankly, why, did you have a communication?
Yeah, I think there's a lack of leadership here, personally.
Oh, thank you, John.
Okay.
I make a motion to adjourn.
All right, you know what? I asked a question.
Second it.
All in favor?
Point of order.
Thank you.
Point-
Jeff,
point-
you know
wait.
the law, Jeff. You know the law, Jeff.
Point of order. Wait, point
We
of
have a
order.
motion on the
Jane,
floor in a second.
Jane had the floor, and I think that's very rude. Whatever it comes down to,
Well,
Jane
we
had
have
the
a
floor.
motion
Let her
in a
finish her
second.
Tiffany,
We
if
have
that
a
happened
motion
to
in a
you,
second. You know,
if this happened to you, Tiffany, I think it
it has
respectfully,
happened
as
to me.
another
That's why I
alderman.
know what I'm doing.
Okay, so payback.
Motion and
I
a
think we
second
should
is on the
entertain what
floor.
Jane.
Can I just
think we-
understand what the Tiffany, could you clarify what
A
the
motion and a second is on the floor, Jeff.
Adjourn.
Oh, the motion is to adjourn.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And we have a second.
Okay, well, there you go.
And we have a second. Thank you. Jeff?
Okay, can I have a roll call vote to adjourn? Since I know it's not going to be unanimous.
Alderman Garriga.
A roll call, since when?
Since I know there's going to be people who object to it.
All in favor? Aye.
Well, they won't.
Aye.
Halloran,
This is on the motion to adjourn. Aye.
Lewis,
Well, he's in the waiting room.
He can't vote on it.
You should let him out of the waiting room for this.
Calvin, are you back?
Yes,
Calvin?
I'm back, Tom. Yep, I'm here.
Okay, we're voting on a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion?
No.
Or aye?
Yeah, yes or no to
All of the
adjourn?
above. Yes, indeed.
Okay, thank you.
Moranti,
No, but I think this motion to adjourn was to circumvent Jane's motion that I don't know if Calvin should have been voting on this because it affected a vote that Jane
No.
wanted to.
No, he's
go.
only
Okay.
voting on the adjournment.
Rosenthal,
No.
Sarar,
What are you voting for?
Whether to adjourn or not.
So is there an motion on the table?
Yes.
Motion and a second.
Okay, yes.
Trombley,
No.
Walker,
Give me an iPhone, bro.
Aye.
They're just trying to get
Wolf,
Aye.
President DiPietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay.
Oof.
Tonight's meeting's over.
Nine.